Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here, Strike7Sports.com. In today's video, man, this is gonna be another joint show where we talk about both teams, just to get caught up on the news relate, but both of them, the Memphis Tigers and the Memphis Grizzlies, both teams have had I would say major transactions the last 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So then we'll start things off with Memphis. The report came down, I believe with April 28th, that Rick Stansbury has joined Penny Hardaway's staff as an assistant head coach. Stansbury is the former head coach of West Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. Had 7 years with the program, resigned after the season concluded for stating that he didn't want to take care of his health and be close to his family. He decided to join Penny Hardaway's staff as an assistant, which he's taking over for Frank Haight, who went over to Texas, the University of Texas, to join Ronnie Terry's staff as an assistant. So congratulations to him. Wish him nothing but the best, Frank Heat. And I also wish Stansbury nothing but the best during his time with the Memphis Tigers. Now, if you recall, Stansbury, Coach Rick Stansbury, the same guy that flipped a man Acott from Kentucky, not from Kentucky, from Memphis to Western Kentucky, and he also got flipped Jamarian Sharp away from got married, were able to push off Jamarian Sharp from Memphis last season. Now Sharp is in the transfer portal, and he's going to Miss now. But it's just funny how that worked. Marion Cott was in Memphis, flipped him, got him to go to Western Kentucky up there. Maybe it was the NIL money, but maybe it wasn't. But this guy's based on what I've heard, and they were talking about this last year with this guy really good at recruiting. He's a recruiting guru, recruiting at me. You know what I'm saying? And right here was able to held off strong pitches from Jamarian Sharp, who led the nation in blocks per game in the past 2 seasons. But other than that, man, that Western Kentucky team didn't make the tournament. I believe they went to the NIT and got eliminated. But Stansbury has a good resume. Signed the first ever, the highest rated recruit at the time, Josh Anderson, 2017. Tavion Hollingsworth, Kentucky 2017 Gatorade Player of the Year. Charles Bassey, the first ever five-star prospect at Western Kentucky. So he has a strong resume, strong track record of being able to attract top recruits, and I don't see why that won't follow here at Memphis. Memphis is already has established brand, well known around the country, well known. Penny Hardaway is well known, as being a really good at recruiting. He got Andy Borman with him, so I don't see why he can't do that here. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same guy that you know, flipped Emmanuel Acott from Western Kentucky to Memphis from Memphis to Western Kentucky. Now, Acott was missed though because you didn't have that reliable third scoring option on your team. If you would have had Emmanuel Acott on this team with DeAndre Williams, Kendrick Davis, Memphis probably go to the Final Four and possibly win it. We don't know because Connecticut was really good, But I guess if you can't, I guess Penny just know how to find these guys. I mean, he's really good at coaching staff. This is the best his coaching staff has ever looked to me. These last I would say 2 seasons, and it looks like she's gonna have another good coaching staff going into 2024 season. He has a solid resume. His winning record is not bad. 432, 432 wins, 255 losses. Been to the NCAA tournament 6 times. And made 7 NIT appearances. So it's not bad. Was an assistant at Texas A&M under Billy Kennedy. Helped them make the Sweet 16 in 2016. Was the head coach at Mississippi State for a long time. Still is the school's winningest coach, and won the SEC Coach of the Year in 2004. 2004. So really good resume, solid resume. Might be a bit underrated, but good resume, track record, knows how to recruit, and it's always good to have these type of coaches on your arsenal as a head coach, as a program. It's always good. So shouts out to Memphis. You got Rick Stansbury on your team now. The other situation has been ironed out as far as bringing in the other transfers that were other players that were in the transfer portal. Nothing is concrete. It's still, I'm assuming they're still working out the details with Jaden Bradley, Jalen Young. So they're still working out that. So it is what it is. And Jonathan Lawson is transferring to Creighton. So I think y'all already know that by now. But Memphis has landed Rick Stansbury to join their staff as an assistant. He takes over for Frank Haight, who's joining the Texas Longhorn staff. We're on that Roddy Terry. All right, so we're gonna segue along to this, man, and a little bit of a hot button topic right here, man. That's the Memphis Grizzlies. Falling short to the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers won the series 4-2 of the Grizzlies. I thought that if you read my prediction, our staff, Strike Seven staff prediction and preview article on the series, I thought that the Lakers could win it. Not the Lakers, the Grizzlies could win it. The series 4 games to 2, but it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Those flaws, those flaws that I kind of feared was I feared what was gonna happen did happen. Grizzlies just did not have enough bigs to deal with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, man. If you had Brandon Clark, PC, Steven Adams, Aquaman on the court, this is a close series, and I think the Grizzlies could have won it. And I felt like Taylor Jenkins, would have been experienced enough to like find ways to scheme around those deficiencies, but it just didn't happen, man. And Luke Kennard, man, while it was a good acquisition during the regular season, he kept them afloat. During that time, Ja was out. It just didn't work out, man. It didn't work out in the playoffs, man. That injury really, put them behind the 8 ball going into Game 7. And Game 7, the tip off, Grizzlies just got blown out the window. They just got ran out of. It was just pretty much the Lakers' game to lose. And it's hard to go. I usually don't go against LeBron James. I usually, don't don't go against LeBron James. But I felt like the Grizzlies had the deeper team, um, the better players, the younger team compared to the better coach compared to the Lakers. You know, and then even though Austin Reeves was Austin Reeves have looked nice as the season, closed out the regular season, and Rio Hukumara, I kind of felt like they wasn't going to do that against the Grizzlies, but they did. You know, um, Austin, there's no, he just continues. Austin Reeves to continue to contribute. 11 points. In that game 6, D'Angelo Russell had 31, James had 22, AD had 16. It's crazy that these guys, AD and LeBron's not hasn't really like exploded yet. They never really didn't even in this series. They didn't even really have to like backpack in this game. They really didn't have to like go off to like. give the Lakers a chance to beat Memphis. It was pretty much done by the role players, man. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Grizzlies just couldn't like rebounding was a big thing to me, man. To me, that the rebounding in the series was huge. The paint, defending in the paint was huge for me. It was a huge factor in why the Grizzlies couldn't win this series, man. You know, it was pretty much Jaren Jackson on the boards for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have. He only had 4 rebounds in this game. You know, nobody had double-digit rebounds, man. Nobody got past like the highest somebody the players got was like 6. Xavier Tillman. The Lakers, they had LeBron at AD at 14 rebounds, man. AD at 14 rebounds. You know, so a lot to work on in the offseason, man. Dylan Brooks most likely won't be back. Um, they may, I think, you know, how a lot of people have been talking about acquiring OG Anobly, you know, from Toronto, and maybe that would help out. That probably could get him over the top. But my thing is he a leader? Can he help lead this team? Can he provide some veteran leadership to this team? Because that's what he needs, man. They need an adult on this roster, man. And it's not taking nothing away from Ja because I believe Ja is like levels ahead of players like a Zion Williamson from a mental aspect, from an on the court aspect. He just is. I know he ain't scared. The moment ain't too big for John Morant, for Jaren Jackson, for Desmond Bain. You know, but they just need. I think you need another reliable scorer, man. A third guy that could get you buckets, and a veteran, a experienced veteran that's reliable, not somebody that's dealing with injuries, that's missing 10 to 15 games. You know what I'm saying? And while he's out, you're feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, man, he made few changes here and there to the roster, to the Grizzlies roster. I think they could be right back into it. I think you gotta bring back Steven Adams. Um, Brandon Clark, he's coming back, of course, obviously. You know, but Tyus Jones, those guys players, Tyus Jones and Conchar, Dylan Brooks, maybe time to move on, man. And I like Dylan Brooks, man. I think Dylan Brooks, you know, is gonna get another. He will sign with another team, but I just think he's gonna get the money that he was thought he was gonna be able to get, be able to command. But we'll see. But other than that, man, this season, you know, I would say that it's this season a success, a failure for the Grizzlies. I'm not gonna say 100% it was a failure. It's just that injuries came upon them at the wrong time, an unfortunate time. And you played against one of my thing. I would say what everybody's saying is like the best 7 seed that we've ever seen in the NBA playoffs. You're playing against a 7 seed team that had LeBron James on it with pretty much a rejuvenated roster, pretty much a rebuilt Lakers team during the trade. They're the clear cut winners of this trade, the trade deadline, because this trade deadline saved the season for them. And I see why a lot of people were worried at the beginning, you know, as season was, you know, closing out, that a lot of people didn't want the Grizzlies to play the Lakers in the first round. They would have preferred the Timberwolves. It almost happened, but in the play-in game between Minnesota and LA, but the Lakers came back and won. But now I see why people did not want the Grizzlies to face the Lakers in the first round. And I just kind of like pushed back on that narrative because I felt like sometimes you got to go through these teams, man. Now, well, every great team, every champion has had to go through somebody difficult. I would say like 95% of the time. And maybe that was a path for the Grizzlies, but looking at it now, maybe you know, maybe it's not their time right now. This year wasn't their time, you know. But there's still room to grow, man. There's still room to grow. Next year could be a lot better, man. I think a lot better. I don't see this team regressing at all. You make a few changes here and there to your roster. Get in a strong, reliable veteran in there that can contribute to your offense. That doesn't have to play with the ball in his hand, play off ball, defense. And I think the Grizzlies will be right back in this thing. I just do. Can that be OG or Nobly? We'll see. But there will. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a change in this offseason to shake this roster up to a certain extent. So we'll see how everything plays out for now. But Grizzlies eliminated as the second seed. We had a record of 51-31, best home records in the league. It just didn't happen this year. It just didn't go down. Didn't go down like everybody wanted to. But we'll see how it play out in the offseason, and we'll move into the May. So we'll see. All right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel about the Memphis hiring of Rick Stansbury as an assistant, and how do you feel about the Grizzlies losing to the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs? Are you disappointed? Do you feel like the season was a failure? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, check out strike7sports.com for latest content on the NFL, the NBA, Memphis Tigers, and Grizzlies content. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.